Welcome to She's Got Guts, where functional nutrition meets ancient wisdom to bring you grounded insights and practical tools for your wellness journey. Join Lara, licensed Eastern medicine practitioner and wellness wizard, and Molly, registered dietitian and gut health expert, as they unpack trends, tackle bloating, balance hormones, and help you thrive in modern womanhood without completely frickin' losing your mind. Let's do this. It's Thanksgiving, folks. Welcome.
Yes, it is. Welcome to the holiday season.
What a delight for everyone involved.
Oh, it's a delight laced with here we fucking go.
Are you a holiday person?
I am a community person. I'm not so, I'm not very religious. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not structurally religious. So it's Christmas to me is more about the winter solstice and celebrating time with family and getting creative and showing my generosity and connection. My kids obviously love Christmas. Thanksgiving is hard to celebrate because of its original meaning. But again, I do like being around food and, same concept. What about you?
That's tough because I was going to say Thanksgiving my favorite holiday, and now I'm racist.
Yeah, fucker.
Dang.
Just kidding.
Let's see. I don't like community. I don't like people. I don't really like happiness.
This is why we are the yin and the yang here, Missy. This is exactly why this works so well.
I hate
I'm like, people. You're like, I'm crawling in a hole right now.
No, it was fabulous growing up. I had a wonderful time with my family. I really love those moments. And I'm sure now that my niece is getting older, I will start going home like next year for actual Christmas. Both my husband and I were in the restaurant industry for so long. And like once you get into out of the private restaurant game and into the hotel game, which tends to have better insurance and, more room for growth, then you never have another holiday again. It was just so many years of like, okay, I have to like beg and plead to even get part of the month.
Yeah.
But we are going to my in-laws' house this week for Thanksgiving, and they will be there and not with their other son and his family with kids and everything. So it's the first Thanksgiving I think my husband has spent with them in probably 20 years, maybe 25. I know. Like we'll see them like Tuesday, Wednesday, but we've never seen them on Thanksgiving. So it's a big deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. Do you guys have anything amazing on the docket to eat that you're just like so excited about?
So he has a bunch of family.
Chef-alicious?
Yeah, we do. He has a bunch of family in as one area. I'm making mac and cheese because I have to be the unhealthy one. No, I'm just kidding. But we went there last year. They did like broccoli casserole, which was amazing. Turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Are you going to make like a roux with your mac and cheese?
We're going to talk about cooking tips today, so we may as well just get into it. The most important thing would be the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
What else do you really need to eat?
Ever? Maybe with the broccoli on the side?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Just
broccoli
a
and peas.
Toddler meal?
Mac and cheese with peas in it. Like if I only ate one thing for the rest of my life, that's what it would be. Now it would be homemade mac and cheese.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Homemade mac and cheese with peas would be your meal.
Petite peas from Trader Joe's.
Petite. Those are actually really good.
Why can't you find them anywhere else?
Yes. I don't know. It's very weird.
They're so good.
The reason why I said I put them on my foot is they work great for those frozen peas when you want ice.
Yes.
That worked really well. Yes.
All right. Well, that's a waste of the petite ones. You could get regular size peas for that.
I know. But it's all I had.
Mac and cheese, you can do so many things with it. If you're gluten-free, chickpea pasta, or even just like brown rice pasta mac and cheese, cook it a little less than you would when like it's all said and done, because it's going to cook some more in the oven. But great way to make it like a rounded meal with fiber and protein. Chickpea pasta especially. I know that there's some noise about heavy metals in chickpea pasta. I do get that pushback sometimes when I mention it, but I like it. I think if you're not eating something every single day, like multiple times a day, then if there are heavy metals in it, then you won't get that many of them.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that our bodies are mostly just made of plastic now anyway. So we just have to be mindful and just keep rotating our alternative.
Just keep rotating.
Gluten-free pastas. Just keep rotating.
Whatever the horrible thing is that we're putting in our body, aka anything, just keep doing it.
Yes.
That's very Christmas.
Yeah.
Heavy metal pasta, you can definitely get a lot of protein and a lot of fiber. Chickpea pasta. Banza, I believe, is the offending brand, but also the only real brand of chickpea pasta that I know of.
Oh,
Then
that orange box?
yeah, and they have pizza crust. The pizza is so good too.
Oh, that's a bummer. I haven't tried that.
Well, I would recommend it. The other pastas you can use are any kind of pasta. It does not have to be elbows. It can be penne. It can be whatever you have around. Just I make it with a roux, absolutely. And the reason why is roux holds up to, so cheese will kind of break apart and it's
Yeah.
called like curdle almost if it
Uh-huh.
doesn't have something stable. So, two things in all my years of making mac and cheese, I found that two things have to. One is that we need a roux to stabilize that hot milk and the hot cheese. And the second thing that has to happen is that it can't just be cheddar. Cheddar is more oily. Those drier, harder cheeses are going to have a higher like oil content. So something that's
Oh.
creamy and melty like mozzarella, oftentimes I'll just use a cheese stick because Scott's like obsessed with string cheese. So I'll just take like one string cheese and cut it up and put it in there. And that counts as the
Perfect.
mozzarella. Yeah. Those two things have really helped me in the mac and cheese game. Another thing is when you mix your cheese in. So I do a roux with milk because if you do heavy cream, like it's just a pointless, you don't need it. So just do milk and then a roux, which will stabilize the milk. One of the reasons you would use heavy cream is because of the higher fat content so that it doesn't break when you add the cheese, but you don't need it if you're doing a roux. You make like a
Okay.
sauce with the milk and then turn the sauce off, turn the heat off, and then you add the cheese. And that way it doesn't
Yeah.
curdle.
Okay. I love that.
That's my mac and
Did you know that
cheese.
my son Clyde can make a roux?
Where'd he learn it?
He just looked it up and was like, Mom, I'm going to make this way, mac and cheese this way with a roux. And I was like, go for it, dude. And so every once in a while when he feels like making mac and cheese, he's like, I'm going to make fancy mac and cheese. So he calls it fancy
Clyde?
mac and cheese.
I
He
love
doesn't even
that.
use a recipe. He just like goes for it. It's very
Oh,
cute.
that's perfect.
It's just a way for him to get more noodles in him.
Hey, we can't argue with that.
Although if I get to eat it, I ask him to make the penne brown rice noodles from Trader Joe's because I actually really like those.
They're
They don't
really
heat
good.
up great, but I really like them if we all eat them up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I love it.
So
What else?
Is Scott bringing anything to the
He does pie.
holiday? He does pie.
He's a big
Oh,
pie.
that is interesting. What kind of pie this year?
When I first started creating content for everybody, I said, you make a sweet potato pie. Could you make a pie out of purple sweet potatoes? And he was like, I probably
Ooh.
could. And he did. And now it is my idea, my viral sweet potato pie.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I love it.
A little extra
I
antioxidants.
will put my story or repost your sweet potato pie because that sounds amazing. Purple sweet potato
I
pie.
made it
even.
originally like 3 years ago. So now I'm going to have to remake the reel. So it's going to be a fresh video for you
Perfect.
this year.
Okay. I'm ready.
Super exciting. And he also makes apple. Those are his two main ones, the apple and the.
Yes.
Sometimes he does
love
pie
it.
crust, sometimes he doesn't, but he'll make a lot of pies. And
Yes.
when we were hosting, we hosted for a couple years because he could only take like one day off from work or whatever. And I would always do chicken because I'm not a huge like turkey fan.
Mhm. I'm not either. I don't really love turkey. I know people who obsess about like the leg and people who love to make the soup afterwards and all the things. But yeah, I would rather just watch turkeys run around. They're like the cutest
Okay.
animals. Not that I mean, I'm not like a vegan or whatever. I want people to be nice to animals, of course. And I support them, but I think that I don't really like to eat
Support
them.
them.
Same with you. I
Yeah.
support the animals. I even support the chickens, but I like to eat those more.
The
I'm with
vegans
you.
too. I do believe that it is nice to have someone else cook for you. Or were you cooking?
No, so it's my holiday with the boys this year. So I went ahead and reached out to my ex's mom and was like, "Are you doing Thanksgiving at your house?" And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Maybe we could come because
love it.
I just won't. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't. When I was younger, like in my early 20s, I swear my mom came up with like the first hashtag ever because she had to write this creative story at this agency she was working at. And it was like a real life story. And she was basically making fun of me for turning everything in Thanksgiving into like a healthy version of it. And she wrote one big long sentence she basically wrote like one big long hashtag of the story. Like she made a organic turkey with organic da 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 da, and then this with da 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 da. And she just, I think I actually still have a copy of it. It's very funny. Maybe I will post it. But
Please.
that was really one of the only times that I do it. It's a big undertaking for an entrepreneur, single mom,
Yeah.
whatever. And with the way the holiday, just is rooted in weirdness, that I'm like, if there's other people out there that enjoy it, I support them, and I will bring pink bubbles and whatever you ask me to bring. This year, Molly, this year I was asked to bring a fruit salad or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't really enjoy fruit salad, and I'm not
Who
going to mix up
does?
whipped cream in fruit. So I was curious if you had an alternative idea for that.
They literally said, bring a fruit salad.
She said, maybe a fruit salad. And I mean, she's like the sweetest woman on the planet.
So she knew
So I
you
will do
wanted to
whatever
bring
she
something
tells me to
healthy,
do.
and maybe she wants some fruit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking something pomegranate-ish, because Duke is obsessed with pomegranates. He likes to rip them apart, and he will eat the entire thing like one a day.
Love it. Same.
I know, I'm going broke, but whatever.
Costco.
Oh, I never go there.
Oh
But
my gosh.
maybe. I don't
Yeah.
know. TJ's, they seem to be okay.
Okay.
They're only like $3 a piece there instead of, $8 at New Seasons.
So that's insane. At our Costco, they're $6 for $8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll tell somebody
Yeah.
that's going to pick me up some.
I'll send you you can log into my app. We look close enough.
Mm-mm.
Just put your hair up.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone
I
at
do look close
Costco.
enough. Totally.
So
They'll be like, why are you ordering an organ? You're like, because
why not?
I'm sending it to a friend.
We've got pomegranate. You could bring some different fruits and have them and cut them up when you get there, or purchase them already cut up. Like pineapple's really good this time of year. You could do like a big bowl of blueberries and a big bowl of pineapple. By big, I mean however big you really think people will eat. But like blueberries and pineapple, and maybe some quartered pomegranates or something cool like that. Although I don't know if a host would really want. I just remember when I was growing up, my mom made me sit on a towel, which I really should still be doing.
You're like, I need the beach towel, please. I'm going for it.
I'm like, maybe we'll check with her before we bring a pomegranate, but something of that nature where they can pick what they want. I just feel like the berries in fruit salad always get mushy immediately.
Yeah. And exactly. And the bananas kind of turn brown, and I don't really love all the sugar all over the fruit anyway. I'm like, the fruit sugar is just great on its own. So maybe a little like charcuterie of fruit would be a good idea.
That would be cool. And then maybe you could put like some cheese on it or something and be a little appetizer like platter.
That's a great idea.
There we go.
Do that.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, dear.
Yes, absolutely.
Love it.
The next thing would be that people have a hard time cooking turkey.
You can see many YouTube hilarious videos about it.
There's so many things. I've never had a deep fried turkey, and I seriously want one so bad.
Oh.
But I don't think it's ever going to happen. Maybe my parents have like a lobster pot that you could do outside for cooking lobsters. It's Maine, Maybe if I go home for Christmas, all right, hear me out. I go home for Christmas next year and we deep fry a turkey.
Oh, is it big enough?
Oh, yeah. Ew, but
cool.
I don't even like a huge turkey. Wouldn't you want, maybe we'll deep fry a chicken.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
two.
It'd probably take quicker to cook, and you could just do 2 or 3 of them.
Just throw them in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm in. So if you deep fry a turkey, please make sure it is fully thawed and dried off, because water plus oil equals fire. Big fire.
Yes.
Explosive. And thawing out your turkey, you want 24 hours for 5 pounds, right? And I posted that online, and someone said, but where in my fridge do I put it? And I thought that was such a good question.
Yeah.
Because your fridge is packed with crap.
Yeah. And some people just let it thaw on the counter, maybe. Who knows?
So if we let it thaw on the counter, the outside will get hot and the inside will be frozen, and it'll work for like a little while. But as soon as it gets like half an inch in thawed, then it's not cooling the outside enough for it to stay in that temperature regulated space that we want it to.
Yeah.
So my suggestion would be either put it in a cooler, the turkey in a cooler with ice, but it still may not be a very consistent thaw. So instead, I'd pull out a bunch of crap from your fridge, like pickles and salad dressing and stuff, and put that in the
Yeah.
cooler and put the turkey in the fridge.
Ah, there you go. Great idea. Put it in the cooler. Or maybe like the downstairs fridge or something, like the beverage fridge,
Sure, sure.
if you have one of those.
Take all the shells and all the alcohol out of it or sodas,
Yeah.
and then fill it and put like a turkey tray underneath it, like a pan or something, so that because they're always going to drip. And I feel like those bags have like micro tears in them, but they were frozen, so nobody ever knew. And then when it thaws out, all the juice starts to come out of the bag that's been kind of damaged.
drippy.
So just assume.
So
that
what
something will
temperature do
happen.
you want it to be at for a long time, ideally?
I want it to be under 40 degrees until you cook
Under
it.
40, but above 32, because it can't be frozen.
Correct. Yeah. It's a very special area it needs to be in.
Ah, well, in some areas, people could probably put it outside.
In some areas, if you put it outside, it would
There's
not
no
thaw.
wild turkeys out there that would be that it would offend.
They won't
You
recognize
wouldn't
it.
want to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just a little lump of plastic.
Here, it was 75 degrees today, so I don't think I would put it outside.
Wow. Here
Yeah.
where we are, it's about 41, like a lot right now. And then it gets a little warmer during the day, but at night you could probably put it out.
Yep, totes. You want it under 40 or 41, depending on what state you're in. That's the regulation. And then when you cook it, you want it over 165. But that thing that pops up, the internal thermometer that comes with the turkey that they like put in the turkey for you, is set at 180. Your best bet is to get your own thermometer and take it out when it's like 158, 160.
Okay, that
And
is
just
so
let it
good to know.
rest.
I'm going to have you on speed dial the next time I make a turkey.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that'll be never.
Yeah.
For your
I
sake.
don't really like making turkeys. Yeah, it's not my thing.
Beside cooking in the kitchen, we also get
Ugh.
cooking in our brains.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Mm.
And cooking in our guts. And sometimes not in a good way there either. So let's talk about some of how to manage your nervous system health and your digestive health.
Stop drinking your coffee naked. Yeah, I said it. You're out here raw dogging caffeine like anxiety's your morning ritual. Girl, enough. It's time to stop pretending coffee is self-care when it's really just nervous system cosplay. Instead, try Supercube, the coffee-enhancing supplement your hormones, your gut, and your sanity have been waiting for. It turned your mug into a superfood rebellion. Packed with highly absorbable protein, medicinal mushrooms like turkey tail reishi and cordyceps, plus ceremonial-grade cacao, coconut cream, and 3 Chinese herbs that whisper, "You've got this." No crash, no chaos, just smooth, steady, grounded energy that actually feels human. So ditch the jitter juice, stir in 1 scoop of sorcery, and suddenly you're unstoppable and somehow still calm. And that's what balance actually feels like. Try Supercube, the coffee that loves you back. Yeah. Well, digestive health, I think most people who have specific quote unquote diets or are trying to stick to something will almost always bring a dish that they know that they can eat.
So soup or
Like, let me
roasted
bring
carrots
something-
or green beans without the sauce on them, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an alternative version of something that would maybe have gluten in it or, something along those lines so that you're covered, which is great. And then also, I think one of the things that you have really instilled in me is being more open to not being as restrictive intermittently, like allowing yourself permission to not necessarily get a stomach ache, right? Like, I'm not going to eat this if I know it's going to make me feel like crap, but maybe broaden your horizons on the things that maybe you wouldn't eat as much of, have that maybe 1 extra piece of sweet potato pie, purple sweet potato pie or whatever, because it is a time of abundance. It's rooted in abundance and it's rooted in connection and community. And with that comes a lot of maybe a little bit of angst or maybe anxiety. Maybe we've lost people since the last time we had that holiday. So maybe it's the first time with the holiday without someone that you love.
Mm-hmm.
And those are hard things to navigate. And honestly, staying rooted as a human in our chaotic world right now, I think is a little bit difficult. Let me rephrase that. It is very difficult to stay rooted in your nervous system and stay true to what you know to be true and grounded in these kind of quote unquote trying times. So
with all the opinions too. There's so many
Yeah,
opinions,
exactly. Mhm.
and they're all
Yeah,
together.
you're just yeah, it's like a nervous system obstacle course.
Not a fun one. Not a rock wall.
Right. And you're like, I gotta navigate this. Like I'm
Yeah.
talking to my cousin, we're having a beer, everything's fine, we're laughing, and then all of a sudden, Uncle Bob says something about politics that's just so out of left field that everybody's supposed to agree with him because he's the, or the patriarch of the family and everybody's just awkward and here we are, right? And your cortisol is brewing and you're like,
Mhm.
what do I do? So I think the most part is the biggest thing to remember is that you are not responsible for changing anyone's mind. You're not
Mhm.
responsible to have a conversation to shift things. I
Mhm.
think right now there's so much information and there's so much more than we as humans are used to responding to that the only thing you are responsible for is taking a deep breath, being in your body, and
Yeah.
setting good boundaries, like really
Right.
communicating with what you are willing and not willing to participate in. Chinese medicine says, let's stay in our yin, let's stay soft, let's stay receptive, let's stay warm, but also with a little frosting of yang outside of us, and that we're making a very clear action that there are things that I'm not gonna jump in your lane
Mhm.
energetically because it will drain me.
Mhm.
And some of the things that maybe you can say if people start talking to you about like politics that don't align with you, you're like, "Oh, okay, well, I think we could pause on that one. Today, my nervous system is like taking the day off.
Mhm. Yep.
I promised myself I wasn't going to solve America today. So
Mhm.
I'm going to not communicate about this. That's not my topic, but I'm here for the dessert. Can you please pass the gravy?"
Yeah. I
Uh,
think one thing that I've been really pleasantly surprised by is anytime I have been confronted by something like this in the past few years where someone's coming in really hot and whether or not I agree with them, it's like, I really just never want to talk about this.
right.
So,
Right.
and like I see my friends not all the time. It just feels like a waste of time. I do say something
Uh-huh.
along those lines, like, "Oh, we have better things to talk about." Because even if we're on the same page, like, what we're all going to get all riled up and upset and then
Yeah.
feel hopeless,
Mhm.
and that's how we're going to spend our girls' night. No.
Yeah,
And I feel like
yeah.
people have been
And
responding well.
and also I think some people really get off on that like, kind of debate energy. It ends up being an argument, right?
Yeah,
Like it kind of takes an argumentative tone. I mean, you can be respectful and have a great debate and you can dive deep on things. I think that's wonderful. But
sure.
yeah, there's certain topics that are just too hot to put your feet on the coals of. It just doesn't work.
Well, and then you put
And
into
then
like all the stress, the pressure, all the sales, everybody's concerned about A, B, or C. There was traffic. Somebody maybe just got off a plane. Maybe their luggage was lost. There's so much. I think
you're
that's one of the
cooking a
reasons I
big
don't love
friggin'
the
meal.
holidays. Yeah. There's so much
There's so
pressure
much
on
pressure.
everyone. Well, you have to spend 800 extra dollars on a flight to be there on this particular day with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then, like, you have to have 19 people at your house when you normally have none. So I
Yeah.
think just keeping in mind that everyone has something that they're battling, and so
Mhm.
I love what you're saying. Find a way and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, can we
Stay in your
not?"
body. Stay in your
I'm
body.
staying in
Stay
my body.
balanced.
Yeah.
3 B's. Balanced, stay in your body, and make your boundaries.
Yep.
BBB.
Yep.
Baby, baby. The other thing is reduce like physical triggers that maybe you have coming on, not necessarily responding to emotional triggers by maintaining your BBB,
Mhm.
be in your body, respond to yourself appropriately, keep your boundaries. But
Bye, bye,
also,
bye.
how about if you're going to be hanging out with Uncle Bob and he's going to be projecting vomits of things that you don't love? Probably not a great idea to come highly caffeinated. Probably not a great idea to drink an insane amount of alcohol.
How
Your
you
feels
react
are going to
inside.
be so much more
Yeah.
heightened when
Right?
that's going down. Yeah. Make sure you're starting your meal when you get there with things that we always talk about. Like make
Mhm.
sure you're eating the vegetable platter that comes out. Make sure you're having some protein. Get some food in you before you're like, okay, I am definitely having a goddamn glass of wine today and I'm
Right.
only having one or
Totally.
whatever. But sure,
Yeah.
eat something prior
Eat
so
something.
that you're not kicked off into like, oh, now I just want sugar. And then your body's like, well, now you definitely need more alcohol. And now you feel
Mhm.
like shit. And then the next thing you're in this big spiral. So
Absolutely.
being
Well,
mindful.
and talking about what you're grateful for and maybe using that as a theme too, like, oh, well, either way, I'm so grateful to be here with you guys today. I'm glad that the car made it or whatever it is. And that's a good thing to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe everybody goes for a
Yeah.
walk together after the meal, or you pull one or two people that you like to hang out with aside and go for a walk and kind
Yeah.
of get some of that physical tension, like physically
Yep.
move it around to get rid of it.
Totally. Yes. And speaking of physical tension, the other thing too, like if you find yourself kind of like clenching your shoulders or clenching your jaw, you know, don't be scared to, yeah, go out on a walk. Be like, hey, let's go out on a walk, or roll your shoulders around. Take a few, honestly, just deep breaths are the best thing ever. Put your tongue
Mm-hmm.
on the roof of your mouth. That makes you breathe a little bit slower. And it's not as
Mm.
obvious that you're getting irritated by the people that are sitting in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
I pop my jaw a lot. My, just a lot going on makes my jaw a little more cracky. So I end up kind of stretching my jaw and my neck a little bit. But I also think it's all about being prepared for what you're coming into, not only the
Mm-hmm.
food and not only knowing how you're going to respond to things if they come up that aren't amazing, that are triggers emotionally, but also being coming in with like your brain, like a lot like the football players come in to the game on Thanksgiving, knowing everybody's going to be sitting around eating turkey watching them. So they better have their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing for us coming into, the game of life. We want to come in
Oh,
with a nice,
yes.
calm mind. And I personally think sitting in the car, if you have the opportunity to, if your family's like, let's say your partner or your kids are like, I'm ready to go in, blah, 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 and be like, okay, I will see you in there in just a minute. And literally just take 2 minutes and close your eyes and breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your belly, massage your neck a little bit, take some
Mm-hmm.
breaths, and just know that you have entered that little calm space. Go in, eat your veggies and your protein, get a little bit in your food first, or food in your tummy first. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you're choosing things that work well, and then start drinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's true. I think being prepared mentally
Yeah. And
is a
I
good
think
way
that
to
rolls into
come into it.
boundaries too.
Uh-huh.
You can say, I'll be right in. And even though it
Yeah.
feels like everyone's like, what's wrong with you? That's fine. Think whatever you want. My big one is like pretend to take a nap or say that you have to run to the store for whatever and just go there or not and just sit in a
Yep.
car and be quiet and have things be quiet. And however you can dash away. And like people, like you understand because you're a healer, people always want to talk to you about their recent issues.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's nice to take the day off. So saying,
Yeah.
here's my email address, like I'm not going to remember with all these people going on and I want to give you the attention that you deserve. So send me an email, let me know what's going on and we'll follow up. And,
Yeah.
but that's always been, I think, for everyone, a tricky thing, right? Because
For
nobody,
sure.
like, people are going to come up to me and be like, oh, yeah, last year when I ate that turkey, I shit my pants. And I'm going to have to
Yeah.
be like, don't care today. I will care tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I cared yesterday
Yeah. I
because you
thought of
can't
some good
like
ways
have a line out the door, you know?
yeah, and some ways to say no, right? Like I'm honoring my bandwidth
Mm-hmm.
of giving energy today. Maybe we could talk real quick about this, but if you want to dive deeper, let's do it at a time when I can be a little more focused. I'm kind of
Right.
letting go today.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able, I'm a big fan of the build, break, build. Like, I'd love to be able to dive in deep with you, and I don't want to give you a half ass answer. Your health is important to me, but I'm, honoring me today, and I'm going to let go and not engage that type of energy. So let's talk when it makes more sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I don't know if that's applicable to everyone being here, but, or, everyone listening, because they may or may not be healers or helpers themselves, but being mindful is
And,
always
it could
good.
be, hey, what's that thing? Like, oh, you were telling me this really long and stressful story about so and so and their school and the teacher, and there
Mhm.
was a thing. And if you don't want to talk about it, it's the same thing, right? Like, whatever it is that you're not wanting to do, you can say, oh my gosh, I really do want to catch up about this. And I can't believe I didn't finish it, but I'm all over the place right now. And I want to give the story the attention it deserves, or I can't remember the name of that product or whatever it is. Just leave me the fuck
Yeah.
alone.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Eat your fruit salad.
Eat your fruit charcuterie.
No, and that's really not
But
fair.
in the
Like I
big
absolutely love like my family and being with people. That's certainly not what I mean. But I'm saying if it's a big group of people, it can get really overwhelming for some people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot of energy to tune to. And if you are an empath of any sort, or at least just a compassionate human, or a person who's been trained to people please, or make sure that your surroundings are good first before you tend to yourself, these situations can be very triggering. So
Hmm.
coming in knowing like this holiday season, someone's going to make me a really juicy turkey, and my nervous system's going to be regulated, and my boundaries are going to be on point with kindness and love and compassion,
Yeah.
because that is really truly at the root of all things what we need in this world. Even if you do find yourself getting stuck where you're like, okay, I'm triggered, I'm actually going to enter this conversation and I'm going to say something that I feel is very important for me right now, which
Hmm.
it could be your boundary, and could be your boundary sentence, but you're also including information that is applicable to where you maybe stand.
Yeah.
You can do those things even if you're triggered, which is really hard. You can do it in a way that allows still for kindness and compassion, just in the same breath that we talked about with saying to someone like, I don't really feel like diving into the health problems right now, but you can say that in such a different
Hmm.
way.
Oh,
And
yeah.
honestly, I feel like that's great practice with people that are going to be around all the time and people that you love, because that's a skill that everyone can do better with right now. We're popping off on social media, we're popping off on emails, we're doing all these things where we don't have to be face to face with people. But
Yeah.
when you're face to face with people, the energetic exchange is real, your
Hmm.
vibration is real. And do you really want to enter those situations like you do when you're popping off on social media? No, because there's going to be a consequence, and it's called what you will receive later on. Like, that's, in my opinion, that's karmic. The love and the kindness and the compassion and the care that you put into those conversations when there could be quote unquote conflict, or when there's friction or a disagreement, when you show up positively, that comes back around.
Yeah. Well, and for a lot of people, it may be the only time you see them all year. And you want that to be, you want a relationship that you can continue to cultivate and honor. And so even if it's a stressful day, we still want to remember that this is still the only impression that they're getting of you. It's easy for me to say, but it is tough in the moment sometimes when there's so much going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another
Yes.
thing we can touch on is that in terms of physical triggers would be foods that bother you.
Yeah.
Big theme this fall that's been coming up with my clients is honestly speaking up for yourself and what you need. For
Oh,
example,
great.
calling a restaurant ahead of time and saying, "Hey," so let's say every Friday you guys go to the Bubba's whatever shack, and you're concerned because suddenly you got diagnosed with celiac disease, or you realize that, fried food really bothers your stomach or whatever. Learning how to say, this year, I'm going to stay home for Bubba's whatever shack, or call Bubba and say, "Hey, Bubba, is there a way that,
Hey,
you guys
Bubba.
can grill a piece of the shrimp, or, do it in a pan because I have an allergy." We
Yeah.
don't love to say allergy unless it is an allergy. So if you don't have a newly diagnosed celiac disease or celiac disease, then we can say, do you have gluten sensitive products, or is there whatever it is? But it's the act of, even like, yes, I get that at the restaurant asking the server when they're busy and everyone is staring at you is hard. But for a lot of people,
Yeah.
the act of even calling the restaurant is tough. And so
Yeah.
I love to encourage people, my northern,
Mm.
northeastern getting it done
Sass.
slash rage slash efficiency, because it's so cold, you'll die. All of that is
Okay.
here to tell you that it is perfectly appropriate to ask for what you want and for what you
Hmm.
need. And if that's, I have to stay home, like I know you guys love to go, or I'm going to eat before I
Hmm.
go, I'm not going to order anything there. Do not ask me why I'm not eating anything. Like, and
Yeah.
you don't have to say it in that tone because
Sure. Sure.
it's a
Sure.
karmic exchange. If it's
Yes, that's right.
okay that I'm having a tough time with some of this stuff, and if there's no one that you feel like you can, that will honor you or that will be a shoulder
Mm.
to lean on, and you don't feel safe disclosing that information, then you can say, "Oh my gosh, work just called," or "Oh my gosh, you know what? I have a stomach bug," or "I have a migraine," or whatever it is. Like, feel free to also maybe stretch the truth if you feel that uncomfortable voicing what you
Yeah.
need. But at the same time, like, if people love you and they're your family, at first they are going to be like, "Oh, like, I mean, even if you start a business, if you raise your kids in a different way than they raise their kids, if you move to a place where nobody else has ever moved to before. Like, it doesn't matter what you do
Yeah.
differently. When you're in a same and you're the different, and everyone's been in that situation in one way or another, then people think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
weird. And you do have to push through a little bit of discomfort at first. So the same goes for your health and needing, why'd you bring that soup? That Nana's going to make this, blah, blah, blah. Well,
Yeah.
I brought it because I
Yeah.
wanted to bring it.
Yeah. I brought it because I love it and it makes me
And I
feel
wanted to
good.
share it with you.
And I wanted to share it with you, you
Yeah.
turd.
Right. No. And like anyone who asks you that is also asking you because they feel comfortable with you and they love you and they genuinely want to know what's
Yeah.
going on. Also
Yeah.
have to remember where someone else is coming from. It's not just on you like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. Honor where you are and be kind.
Yeah.
That's
But
for
also
sure.
say what you need and practice, because it's all about just like the practice of meditation, the practice of yoga, the practice of acupuncture, the practice of dietetics, the practice of
Yeah.
saying, hey, Bubba, do you have
Yeah.
gluten sensitive options on the menu?
Yeah. Hey, Bubba, what you got that ain't going to make me shit my pants?
Hey, Bubba, I noticed that you only have one small dirty bathroom.
Do you want it to
Makes
function?
me nervous.
Let's talk about sauteing
Yeah.
my shrimp.
Other things that we have to talk about here?
I don't think so. I just really wanted to get my BBB out there.
Yeah.
My BBB. Like, have boundaries, be in your body. And what was the last one? Why am I not remembering right now? Be in your body, have boundaries, and maybe it was just balanced.
Balance.
Yeah, just
And
try to
then
stay
break,
balanced.
build.
Be in your body.
No, build, break, build again.
That's the other B. Yeah, build, break, build. When you're trying to give someone feedback on something that you don't want to participate in, start with a build.
Mm-hmm.
Love you. So
Bye-bye.
glad that we're going to talk about this. Then
Yeah.
break their heart and then build them back up again.
Yes. And like the beauty is that we're all in an experience of being human and everybody
Yes.
is stressed about something. We're all having this experience. And so let's just all honor each other.
I love it. I honor you, Molly.
And I, namaste.
Oh, so good.
Okay. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. We offer personalized support to clients in many ways and would love to work with you. Reach out to Lara at Lala's Wellness and Molly at Women's Gut Health for more information. Unlock your full health and hormone potential with Super Cute, Boom Bomb, and Best Tea. Check out the link in the show notes for more. See you next Saturday.